Story time started. I used to work in a pretty big and popular department store. I would probably still be working there if it weren't for the worst day of my life. I was at work, and it was pretty much a normal day until the end. I was getting a little nervous because the rule was you couldn't leave your section until the person taking your spot got there. If they never showed up, then management expected you to stay. I was getting really worried because I only had 30 minutes left in my shift, and the guy Jim, who was supposed to take over for me, wasn't there yet, even though his shift should have started an hour before. At the time, all I wanted was to see his face so I could go home, but now I wish he never would have shown up. About 20 minutes before I was supposed to leave, I could see Jim walking over to our section. He was usually pretty happy and upbeat, but even from far away I could tell something was wrong. When he finally made it over to me, I froze. He looked like a zombie. I mean, he was there, and he was normal, but it was almost like he was looking through everything. I didn't have much time left, so I thought I could just keep my distance and wait it out. I was on the other side of some shelves the first time I heard it. Jim was mumbling something. I couldn't really hear what it was, but I knew he was just repeating the same thing over and over again. It was kind of to a rhythm, so I thought it was a song. It turns out it was a warning. I managed to stay out of Jim's way for the last 10 minutes of my shift, but I still couldn't shake the feeling that I needed to figure out what he was mumbling. So I decided to go over and say bye before I left. It's not something I would have usually done, but I just wanted to try and figure out what he was mumbling one more time. As I walked up to Jim, I could hear him mumbling still, and I almost figured out what he was saying. Sometimes I think if I would have figured it out earlier, I might have been able to stop it, but I didn't, and I couldn't. When I said bye to Jim, he looked at me like I solved some lifelong puzzle he had been working on. Then he asked if I wouldn't mind watching our section for 2 more minutes so he could use the bathroom. My instinct was telling me to say no. It was telling me to get out of there as fast as I could, but I didn't listen. I knew Jim was having a bad day, and I wanted to help, so I agreed. Jim walked away, and I stood there desperately trying to figure out what he had been mumbling. After about a minute, a sickeningly upbeat song, repeating "Run Rabbit Run," started playing over the store's intercom system, and that's when it hit me what Jim had been mumbling since he got there. It was that "Run Rabbit Run." In my gut, I knew it. I knew we were all in danger. I tried to run to make it to a manager and warn them, but I was too late. The screaming started.